It kills me not to know this, but I've all but just forgotten what the color of her eyes were, and her scars or how she got them. As the telling signs of age rain down, a single tear is dropping through the valleys of an aging face that this world has forgotten.
Welcome to the Jackal and the Truth. My name is TJ Gray, and with me, as always, is my brother, the Jackal. We're so happy to be here today. We have a great show for you. We have a lot to cover, so we're going to talk a little bit about something now. I know the Jackal's excited to talk about it. Then we'll come back and we'll do the normal stuff. But many of us don't know it because we're here in the United States, but over in the United Kingdom, there have been some really violent protests with students and police and all kinds of things. And
really, Truth? Oh, bloody hell.
Well, it's relevant because protesting is kind of like an American stalwart. We always protest. And what's going on over there is they're really the students, they're protesting that their tuition is getting raised. And they've taken to the streets for like 2 weeks now, and they're going to keep continuing. And the protests have gotten so violent that some really crazy things have happened. And one of those things we're going to show you right now, we'll set up the clip. It's a student, he has cerebral palsy. Yeah, because that's funny. But he's in a wheelchair, and he's part of the protest, and you'll see the British police actually throw him from the wheelchair and then drag him across the street. So let's take a look at the video, and then we'll get a reaction when we come back, all right? All right, go ahead, take a look.
He's fucking...
He's a fucking hard one, man, he's sick.
Yeah, they're pushing forward.
What the fuck are you doing? Fucking dirty pig. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're going right to the wheelchair. You fucking maggot! Get back! Right, man! You just tipped him over!
Unbelievable. Are you laughing? What are you laughing at?
Oh, bloody hell, he fell out of his wheelchair. Tell the truth. Don't you judge, you fat ass.
So you can see how violent and how aggressive the police can be during these protests.
Pigs are pigs.
Because of so much violence, the Prime Minister and a bunch of other people, the attorney, what do they call it? Inspector General, I think they have over there, Sherlock Holmes or whatever, but they're threatening to ban all protests, so basically put in martial law, so they won't have a right to assembly. And everyone's really afraid if they do that the whole place is just going to go crazy. What do you think, Jackal? What do you think? Do they have a right to protest?
Well, Truth, if they do that, yeah, they have a right to. They do. Right. I think anyone should have a right to. But if they banned it, people are like...
It's going to go crazy. There's going to be a huge fight, and it's really, really... I'm nervous. I'm nervous because I know students, you know, young people, we think we're right, and we like to see that to an end. So it could be really, really dangerous. I hope nothing bad happens.
People are going to get hurt. Everyone.
Right. All right. We just want to let you know what's going on in the rest of the world. As we go to break, I'm going to show you one more video. This is a 15-year-old kid. He spoke at some kind of meeting. I forget what it was for. But about the protests, and I think he was really articulate and interesting what he said. So let's show them as we go to break. Then when we come back, we'll talk about some more fun things. All right, Jackal?
All right.
All right, so take a look at this.
We'll be back.
This was meant to be the first post-ideological generation, right? This was meant to be the generation that never thought of anything bigger than our Facebook profiles and our TV screens. This was meant to be the generation where the only thing that Saturday night meant was X Factor. I think now that claim is quite ridiculous. I think now that claim is quite preposterous. I think now we've shown that we are as ideological as ever before. Now we've shown that solidarity and comradeship and all those things that used to be associated with students are as relevant now as they've ever been. You know, the most incredible thing that happened on Wednesday, I went down, I thought I was going to go down in lunch break and then get back in time for lessons. Perhaps I should have known they'd put the the guy in charge, the G20 in charge. Perhaps I should have been more concerned for my life than for whether I was going to get down for lessons. But when I tried to get out and I was told it was a sterile area by police officers standing and not letting anyone out, I thought, well, that's why we need a university education. If we don't get one, we end up in police uniforms. You know, when I was kettled in there, I was with thousands and thousands of school students who'd come down with their ties around their heads in their school uniforms, and yeah, they were cold, who'd come down, who'd never been on a protest before, who'd never joined a political party or been involved in a political movement before, who didn't have any economic knowledge or political degrees, but they were there because they believed in something. They were there because they believed in something bigger, and they were there because they knew that either, you know, there weren't a million choices, there were two choices. Either they laid down and took whatever the government threw at them, or they stood up and fought back. And so those school students who'd never been involved in anything before stood up and they fought back.
Welcome back to the show. All right, I hope you enjoyed those words. They're really inspirational. Jackal probably doesn't care, but... All right, so Time released their 100 People of the Year, and they named the Times Person of the Year Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook. A lot of people are angry about this. They think it should have been Julian Assange, who of course was the WikiLeaks president. But you can see how there could be some controversy there. What's more interesting is some other people that are on the list. So let me read to you what some other people, you tell me what you think about them. The Tea Party. The Chilean miners, those of course were the people stuck in the mine. There's a really cool video, you can look on our website, of a Chilean miner at the David Letterman show.
So if I get stuck underneath dirt, I might be on it.
Right.
Cool.
Glenn Beck is named as one of the People of the Year.
No comment.
I think you have to be a person to name it, not agent of the devil. Justin Bieber, named one of the People of the Year.
Justin Bieber.
Lady Gaga, who's Bob's favorite singer. Do you want to sing Poker Face for us real quick?
No, that's alright.
Oh my god. And the cast of Glee was the one of the final people on there. Yeah, I know Jack's talking about that. So what do you think about it? Do you think they missed some people? Do you think some people should be added on here? I mean, there's other people, but do you have any person in particular you want added on here? Or? Derek Jeter, yeah, of course. Eminem, yeah. I don't know if he was on a list. I only have a few lists, but a few people. But what do you think about the people that aren't named on there? You think they deserve to be on there?
Facebook, the guy, he created Facebook, and lately it's this big one, you know, the biggest things in the world right now.
Right, but why did they name him this year? I mean, they could have named him last year. They couldn't name him. I think they just chose him this year because it's a really safe pick, rather than choosing Julian Assange, who you can't argue didn't have the most impact on the world this year, Julian Assange, right?
You can't argue that Facebook didn't really either, though.
No, I know, but why pick this year of all the years?
Because he won this year.
Oh, yeah, okay. You're just going to agree with them. And then what about Justin Bieber? Do you think he deserves to be on this list? Or?
No.
Why not?
He's a okay singer, I think. I think he's just okay. I don't think he's, like, good like Eminem or...
Just so you know, Justin Bieber is also the most searched YouTube term of the year.
I never searched for him ever, so...
And he had the most watched video on YouTube. So, you don't have Bieber fever, Jackal?
No, I don't. I have Eminem fever.
If you want to take a look at the list, just go to time.com. It's really interesting. They give a little... Oh, shit. They give a little tidbit about everybody on the list. So, let's talk about someone that was named on that list. Glenn Beck. He, of course, works for Fox News. A recent study was done on Fox News and the things they believe. And it's crazy what people believe. Let's get to some more interesting ones. 63% of Fox News viewers do not believe Obama was born in the United States. I think that includes Luke Scott, so, but that's crazy. How can we disagree on facts? There's some other ones. 56% believe Obama initiated the bailouts for the car companies. That, of course, was George Bush. And then 60% of people believe climate change is not occurring. So they just flat out think global warming doesn't exist, even though the rest of the world agrees. We just don't agree.
We also believe in God, so...
Well, we don't.
Well, we don't, but yeah.
If you don't think Fox News is making people dumber, just, talk to my dad for about 10 minutes and see what he says about that. All right. And the final story we have is Tron comes out tonight. I think it came out at midnight last night, right? It's being called one of the greatest remakes of all time. The original movie is from, I think, 1982, if I have my facts straight. And, of course, it was a video game, too, Tron. Basically, it was always a good story. Do you know the story? Have I told you?
Somewhat, I know somewhat. About
Right. So the guy creates like this fantasy world. He gets stuck in his game or whatever, and it's awesome because part of the reason this movie is going to be great is that the technology is finally caught up to the story. You know, it's always a good story, and now they have the technology to tell that story with 3D, with everything. And the really cool part is Jeff Bridges, who plays two different characters in this film. He plays an old Jeff Bridges, who's like the creator, and then he plays his creation. And in order to do that, they had to reverse age him using CGI and all kinds of things. And it's really amazing. He looks like, you know, Jeff Bridges from the 1980s or 70s.
Nah, that's pretty cool.
It's amazing.
I'm sure every actor wish they can make themselves look younger on the TV.
Right, and you can't tell, which makes me think that, like, say a person's getting a little older, an actor's getting a little older, and they want to play a role. Are they just going to reverse age him so he can play a younger role? Or are they going to, you know, keep his true, like,
why not?
Oh, I don't like having wrinkles. Can you just get rid of that? That's exactly what's going to happen.
If you can do it, right? It would make the movie look better. I'm sure when Brad Pitt gets a little older and doesn't look...
Right, they're just going to reverse age him so he could be...
Bring him back the good-looking person that he is.
It's going to be like Benjamin Button, but in real life, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's scary. I don't think I like this at all. I think they shouldn't be allowed to do this because it freaks me out.
I like it.
What if, like, in 10 years we see, like, I don't know, Leonardo DiCaprio, but he's like 18?
That's awesome.
No, it's fucking weird. I don't know.
Right? Isn't that awesome? And then you get some of these, the women, you know, they're going to
ask for it every single
They're used to be good looking, and now, you know, they're old, so, you know, they're that's good looking. And
the second they get a wrinkle, the second they get a spot, they're going to say, no, reverse age me. I want to look younger. You know, I'm not going to do this film unless you reverse age me.
What's wrong with that?
It's
Do you see anything about that, man? Do you? No.
Why are you always asking people questions?
I'm asking the producers. It's not like I'm going to the camera and expecting the camera to say something back to me.
I don't like it. All right, before we get to the Jack of all trades, I just want to mention Ben Mayer, of course. He emailed us in his top 10, and he yelled at me for putting Shrek and Up on the list.
I agree with you, Ben.
Right, and he added a Will Ferrell movie, Old School, which he thought was one of the funniest movies he ever saw. And you almost put that on your list, right?
I almost did put it down on my list. I almost did, but she just like kind of said, you know, maybe you shouldn't do it. I don't think it's that funny. So
you did your list.
It was the truth.
You can do anything you want with your list. It's your list. Don't blame me because what are you trying to appeal to Ben now?
I'm not trying to appeal to Ben.
Oh, Ben, I
Why?
almost put it on my list.
Why would I care what Ben thinks?
I don't know. I was scared of him, I think.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I'm scared of Ben.
He's gonna beat you with his 6-inch pythons he's got.
Well, he beat you with his ear at a football game.
We're not gonna talk about that.
when you're bleeding.
All right, we'll be right back with the Jack of all trades. It should be fun. So come on in.
Work it, make it, do it, makes us harder, better, faster, stronger. More than power, never